All right. Cool. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I have been fighting a sinus headache for 3 days now. This is day 3, so not been fun. But I'm tired of just laying around, so I really wanted to just wanted to make sure I could do the stream. Didn't make it to the grocery store this morning, and I got chores to do later. But at the very least, I want to try to do this. Yeah. Okay. So today, um, we're gonna do AI dungeon because I kind of want to just start with one for fun because there's been a lot of updates. Um, and I haven't done one in a while, and I want to just kind of do it as a warm up. Let's see. We've got fantasy, mystery, apocalyptic, zombie, cyberpunk, custom. Can you do like horror if it's custom? It's custom. I don't know. All right, let's just try zombies. Let's do an old classic here. Ooh. Scientist. And for once, I do have 2 stories lined up. So I won't have to spend too much time clicking around. Enter your character's name. Strombulus. Kerrigan. I will say it still kind of runs a little bit slow, but hopefully that's just because it fixed some of the hanging problems. You are Strombulus Kerrigan, a scientist trying to. I should have named myself Doctor. Fuck. Oh well. A scientist trying to survive in a world filled with infected zombies everywhere. You have a backpack and a solar powered tablet. Heyo. You pound your fist on the table, angry. On the table and angry that you still haven't found the cure to the infection. You turn to your assistant and say, "Ooh, I have an assistant. I'm going to find it." "What?" he asks. "Find the cure," you reply. He looks at you for a moment and says, "We're not exactly sure what's causing this plague yet." Order assistant to join me on my quest. I don't know. Thank you, everybody, for the well wishes. You order your assistant to join you on your quest. "No, I want you to stay here," he exclaims. You look at him incredulously. "Why? What do you mean, no?" He continues his protest, but you cut him off. "You have to come with me. It is for the good of all mankind." I think I misspelled mankind. Manking. Whoops. But, he begins to argue, but you interrupt him again. "You have to come with me. It's for the good of all mankind. I know your game, AI dungeon." His eyes widen as he quickly nods his head in agreement. Oh, it's so obvious. I forgot we were working on a cure. Okay. Leave laboratory with assistant. Damn it, Jim. I'm a scientist, not a doctor. Ugh. You walk out of the lab with your assistant following behind you. The two of them are about halfway through the halls when they stop. "What?" "Okay." now referring to ourselves in the third person. There has to be something we can use there, he says. I mean, we could build some kind of device or machine to help us. Okay, we're halfway through the halls. Retrieve keys to van and gather. That might be too complicated. What? And gather supplies. Build a Tesla coil. Okay, I'll build a Tesla coil when we need it. Right now, we just need to get the hell out of here. Oh, good. Slime Beast is here. I was hoping you'd show up because I know you really like AI Dungeon, and you've been begging me for weeks. You call me on my phone and you keep saying, "Please, Abysme, play AI Dungeon. I need it in my life." You retrieve the keys. Let's go get the van keys from my brother. Oh God, my brother. My brother would have the van keys. The pair of you enter the garage and open up the door. Inside, you see several tools strewn around and a large pile of junk. Take best tools and get in, oh gosh. Take best tools. Let's just start with that. They're making this very compound on me. Probably because I made a compound, but that's okay. You grab the most useful tools first and begin to work. You put together a small drill press, a hammer, an angle grinder, various bits of... Oh, cool, thank you. I need none of those things, but alright. Get keys to van from brother. Just let me out of here, God. Like, I could keep this all in the lab and just do stuff, but that would be boring. You return to the house and ask your brother if he knows where the van is located. He tells you it's in his... The van, of course the van is upstairs in his room. You tell him that you'll just have to search there, and he agrees. Yeah, I guess you'll have to go upstairs. Go upstairs and get van. My God, AI Dungeon. Just let me leave, please. You go upstairs and get van. You walk into your brother's room and see that he is indeed sleeping. What? I just talked to him, though. Oh, my God. And he wakes up and looks at you with a confused expression. Where did you come from? God damn it. I came back to get the van keys for my brother. Take van keys and go to van. For fuck's sake. This was a mistake. This was a mistake. Two brothers. One has a van. The other is sleeping. Remember Rick and Morty when Rick and Morty was funny? You open the door and step inside. There's a large pile of junk in front of you. You pick up one piece after another until you find what you're looking for. I already got that stuff. Alright, cool. Get into van with assistant. Swear to God. Swear to God. Oh my God. You exit the house and run down the street towards the nearest van. You hop in and drive off. We need to get out of here, you shout as you start driving away. We can't stay here. This is brother country. This is like waiting for Godot with a van. Yeah, hopefully I can get out of this waiting for Godot loop. Drive to nearest... Okay, hold on a minute. So this is a zombie apocalypse. I am a scientist, I have my assistant, and we are trying to find a cure. I'm leaving my lab because we can't find the cure with whatever we have at the lab. So maybe we go to a different lab. So drive to nearest you know what? Let's make this a little bit tropey. Drive to secret government laboratory. You drive along the road and eventually reach a large building. It seems like a normal government lab, but then again, it isn't. You pull over outside and look around. Okay. Retrieve shotgun. I'm going to be armed before I go in because I know they're going to have zombies up in here. The lab is clearly in Mexico, where Bisme landed and he wants revenge. Yeah. You quickly unlock the door and climb through. Inside, you find yourself in a large room with many machines all connected to each other. The walls are covered with computer monitors displaying graphs and charts. There is also a man standing nearby, talking on a phone. Well, great. Do I have my shotgun? Talk to man. The man on the phone turns out to be Dr. Strangelove himself. Okay. I'm okay with this. I am okay with this weird crossover. Oh boy. Oh boy. I need to think about this. This kind of changed things. I'm glad you could make it, Kerrigan, he says. It would seem that I was wrong about your abilities being limited by your mental state. Wait, did I ask? What do I mean? Ask Dr. Strange. You know, let's okay. Where is the cure? Well, I don't know exactly where it is, however, I think we can figure something out if we work together. How so? By studying the virus's behavior under different conditions. We will study how fast it spreads and how long it lasts before dying out. Okay, fair enough. Study virus with Dr. Strangelove. One of my favorite movies, by the way. Really, really good movie. Mein Führer, I can walk! You sit at a desk and begin typing on your laptop. The virus is very slow when it first infects you. Oh, shit. But it soon grows to full speed. After several hours, you feel sick and collapse onto the floor. You bastard, Dr. Strangelove. You ex-Noxy fuck. Kerrigan, what's going on, Doctor? You know exactly what's going on. Threaten Dr. Strangelove with shotgun. You stand up and fire a I said threaten, not shoot! Oh, damn it. He ducks back behind his desk, but not before getting hit once in the shoulder. I'll kill you, he screams, dropping his phone and running for cover. Tell assistant to flank Dr. Strangelove. I'm on to you, Strangelove. You order your assistant to take him down from behind. The two of them rush forward and get within range of his gun. I have two assistants? I think that's what this thing's trying to tell me. They shoot him twice, killing him instantly. Well, omelets and all that. Continue to study cure. After another few hours, you notice that the virus has slowed down, and now only takes a couple of minutes to die out completely. You then realize what happened. Dr. Strangelove had given you the cure. Oh, and then I killed him. Cool. Oh no, I'm the bad guy. I'm the villain in this story. Well, shit. Okay, We need to know what type of cure it is, because if it's like airborne, then we need to get it in the air. If it's water, if it's soluble, we need to get it in the water supply. Okay. Analyze best way to spread cure. Wow. I just... You decide to use this new information to spread the cure as far and wide as possible. You quickly go through all the files on the virus and find an easy way to spread it. Thanks for not telling me what it is. Okay. Launch. Whoops. Launch. If I say launch missile with cure in it, it's just gonna kill everybody. Gotta think here. Construct device to spread cure globally. Create a small device which you attach to the side of a plane flying over the ocean. As the plane flies over land, it will release a cloud of deadly... What? What? God, no, stop making me the bad guy. As the plane flies over land, it will release a cloud of deadly gas into the atmosphere. This should cause most people to fall ill, but some may be able to fight off their symptoms and escape. Fuck it, release cure. The device works perfectly. Most people succumb to the disease, but a few manage to resist and make it across the globe. The rest die immediately. Well, you know, omelets and that sort of thing. Fuck. I don't know what to go. Okay, let's go. Locate remaining zombies. That's a good point, Kayla. I haven't seen a single zombie yet. Your device works so well that you don't even need to hunt anymore, probably because I killed everybody. Zombies are no longer a threat, and you can finally relax and enjoy life. Years pass. Erect giant monument to myself and my genius as savior of mankind. You spend the next 10 years enjoying your newfound freedom. Your inventions save countless lives, and you become very wealthy. You live a luxurious life until one day you wake up in bed with a woman who looks just like your wife. She tells you she's pregnant with twins. Implying that it's not my wife? My wife. Infect twins with virus. Now I'm just being a dick. You feel something is wrong when you see the twins' eyes change color. You try to stop them from changing, but they're too strong for you. You watch helplessly as they tear each other apart. Well, you know, omelets and all that. Oh, God. Okay, no. We're done. I don't even know where to go with this anymore. I beat it. I actually beat it without dying, and the game will just let me do whatever at this point. Anyway, that was fun. I do want to come back to AI Dungeon, though. It's fun. And we'll do something else. Oh, my God. That was definitely, like, whenever you get to years pass after you've done everything, like, it's clear that it doesn't know where to go, and it's just going to default to, okay, time passes, and now it's a different story entirely. So that's how you know you've pretty much gone through all the content you can that's going to make sense, as much as AI Dungeon can make sense. Okay, we are going to read something from Stay Awake, and we're going to give it some feedback because I notice it says accepting feedback. Sickle Walker, motherfucker. There we go. Whoops. Sickle Walker, my first OG story. Hope y'all like it, accepting feedback. And this is by Husky Gaming YT. Assume that's for YouTube. My creepypasta. I hope you guys like it. Please comment as to what you think and if I should continue with this or keep making more characters. Thanks, smiley emoticon. I also apologize for the grammars. I didn't really check it because I was writing this as I go. Well, that's a bad indication. Always just stop. You know, when you're done, leave it for an hour, come back, check it for grammar. You'll never get everything. Everything has some mistakes somewhere. You know, if you can, get someone else to check it for you as well. But don't just be like, fuck grammar. The character design was by me, but my girlfriend helped me draw it better. Big thanks to her. Follow her on Instagram at Tragic Flower. And if you want to follow me, even though I don't post anything, AGym1203. Okay. It was late September. My family and I were driving to Tennessee to stay in a cabin like we do every year. My father loved going to the cabin as it was a tradition on his side of the family, and he wanted to continue it with us. We arrived at the cabin. It looked cozy. The exterior of the house was mainly false logs stained a dark oak color. It was 2 stories with multiple windows all around the deck, both upstairs and downstairs. The chimney extended from the roof and was smoking because of the fire inside that the caretakers of the cabin prepared for us. Boy, I hope the caretakers are still there and didn't just leave a fire on. We walked inside and it was already decorated for Christmas and Thanksgiving, in that order. There was a 6-foot tree covered in white warm lights with red and gold garland in the corner. There was a flat screen TV right above the lit fireplace, and the couch was across from the fireplace. There was also ceramic pumpkins with Thanksgiving and Happy Harvest written on them. Okay, this opening paragraph is good and bad. The good. You are setting up your setting, for lack of a better term. You know, that's good. You're saying where you are, why you're there. None of this is questionable. And you're providing details about your surroundings. This is all good. Unfortunately, the delivery is very just, here's the cabin, here's the exterior, and it's a couch, and it's a flat screen TV. Like, it would be better to have your characters walk in, and then we learn, you're telling as opposed to showing. You know, don't tell me there's a couch. Tell me that I walked in and I sat on the couch across from the TV that I always go to first because it was a long drive or something like that. You know, you can give these details, but have your characters kind of interact with them, and then that tells us, or shows us rather, what the interior looks like. It's just, you know, it's very just kind of flat and dry just to list everything in there. We started to bring in our stuff when I noticed a ruffle in the leaves, but I thought nothing of it, as we are in the woods and critters are common here. Finally, my parents asked me to go grab the last suitcase and close the trunk. I walked out and once again heard the leaves, but this time it was louder. I looked in the direction I heard the noise, but I saw nothing but red, yellow, and brown leaves and beautiful brown trees. Brown trees with brown leaves? After settling in, my mom started to prepare chili. Number 15, chili for dinner. Prepare chili for dinner. While she cooked, I went onto the second-story deck and looked into the distance. We are on a mountain, so you can see many trees, rocks, and other cabins in the distance. It was such a nice view and so relaxing. As I was looking at the view, a pitch-black creature zoomed in the corner of my eye. I chalked it up to road lag, or maybe I was sleepy from the car ride and went inside to check on dinner. Again, good and bad. The good, setting up that there's something in the woods. The bad, there's clearly something and it's not even a mystery the way this is being presented. I saw a rustling in the leaves, but it was clearly nothing. Then it happened again louder, but it was clearly nothing. Then I saw a black creature and it's clearly, like, we know what you're doing. Because this is a horror story. You have to be careful and very deliberate in how you tease and introduce these monsters. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not always. It's one of the hardest things to do in horror because you don't want to show your monster too early. But you want to build up that tension and that intrigue. The build up and the reveal of the baddie is very tough. But I would say this is a way you probably shouldn't do it. Kayla says, to be fair, many authors recommend to start with describing the setting, and I can understand that being misconstrued by starting writer. Yeah, no, totally. This is, I'm giving a lot of leeway here because this is this author's first or one of their first stories. So I'm going to be fair in the critique, but totally understand, the difficulties in doing this. My first story was terrible. While I was waiting for my bowl, not that this is terrible, didn't mean to imply that. While I was waiting for my bowl of chili, I was reading up on the history of the mountain and came across what is known as a sickle walker, which is a derivation of skinwalker. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Skinwalkers are still incredibly in vogue. I'm sure Siren Head is currently the most popular thing on the internet as far as horror is concerned, and that's going to be absolutely watered down in probably a few weeks. But Skinwalkers are incredibly popular, as are many cryptids. They are rarely done well. They all kind of just have the same tone to them. I like that it's a derivation. It's a sickle walker. I haven't heard of that one before. It's kind of, hopefully it's a novel type of creature. As I just hope it's not pale, lanky figure with no eyes or black eyes and long fingers. We'll see. The website contained pictures of a sickle walker which showed its skeleton-like torso, and limbs, and its solid black head and red glowing eyes. Okay, I know I said this last week, and I want to kind of expand upon it, or expound upon it. We need to get away from thin skeletal figures. It's not that they're bad, it's just they are so overdone right now. Like, as someone who, someone who reads Warhammer stuff, one of the nice things about that setting is that there is a host of creepy demons and creatures of all shapes and sizes. And like, I feel like having a corpulent monster is something that we don't have anymore because people just don't know how to write it or don't want to write it. But and then I guess, a lanky thing can blend into the trees and shit. But there is something, you can be frightening with a giant, massive, disgusting, pus oozing thing. Like, I'm not saying it's easy again, but I would rather see that. I would rather see something other than just lanky figure that looks all weird. I vote for extra thick monster. Challenge, write a good Skinwalker story. If I didn't have 3 other ideas already for contests, yeah. You know what? Someone can take that. Run a contest. Anyway, the caption beneath the photo said, sickle walkers are known for having sickles as hands to kill their victims. So is this book like urban legends of the mountains? This can't be an actual scientific publication. They have been seen with 2 sickles, and some have 1 sickle with a blade-like hand on the other arm. If one sees the eyes of the sickle walker, they have 5 days to leave before it kills them and anyone around them, unless they manage to outlive the 5-day period either by constantly driving or finding it first and offering it a rabbit's foot and antlers of deer. Oh god, it's a rule story inside a cryptid story. Oh boy. I am not one to believe in myths and legends, so I forgot about this article by the next day. That was my first regret right there. Oh good lord. Oh, dude. That's a block paragraph. This could be like 4. Okay. Let me get a drink of water here. Oh boy, yeah, I'm all stuffed up, and the Sudafed's no longer working. We headed down to Pigeon Forge. Pigeon Forge. Oh, it was like a city. Okay. Kind of like that name, Pigeon Forge, which was like a city full of old and rustic stores. All of the stores had log exteriors just like our cabin that made them feel cozy, especially because it was about 40 degrees outside. I do like this setting. Um, I've been to places like this. I have a very clear image in my mind. I do like that. The strongest part of the story is the setting. Every time we walked in the store, we were blasted with warm, calming air and interiors that gave a welcoming feeling. They had distilleries that sold different flavored moonshine, bakeries that filled the cobblestone road with a sweet smell like freshly baked cinnamon rolls, and pancake houses, oh my god, I am hungry, in which you could see smoke rise from chimneys and yellow lights shine through the windows. It was almost as if you were in a Christmas movie. Yes, this is great. Like, it almost sounds fantastical, but I have been to places like this. There were also stores that sold home furniture that had bears, nicely grained wood tables and chairs, funny and wholesome text, and t-shirts with dirty jokes. Everyone was wearing jackets and hoodies as people filled the cobblestone road going from store to store. As I was taking in the view of the lights, I noticed the black creature again. I stared at it because it was standing still, and then it opened its eyes. They were glowing red and gave me such a terrified and unsettling feeling. It was as if everyone disappeared around me, and this creature and I sat in the dark, staring at each other. How come no one else saw it? Why only you? I was frozen and could not scream for help. My little sister ran into me and snapped me out of it, and then I watched the creature run into the woods behind the stores. Then what was a chilly, clear day turned into a rainy, cold day. We walked back to the car, and I told my parents what happened. They told me I was just paranoid because of what I read on that website, and to stop thinking about it. Wait, I thought it was a book. Oh, it was a website. My bad. Sorry. It's hard to freaking concentrate when you've had a headache for 3 days. Okay, so it was a website. Okay. Fair enough. Thought it was a book. Well, every time support assist. No. Go away. Sorry, this is the problem with block paragraphs. Now where the hell was I? Okay. I stopped because I didn't want to risk getting my phone taken away. We got into the cabin. I immediately went back to the same website. Okay, I'm going to look at the chat really quick. What is the best rustic place you visited, Abysme? The best one. That's tough. Mammoth in California is really cool. I like that place. I go to Vermont almost every winter. And outside of Burlington, which has a lot of just little small towns. I'm very fond of that. Gosh, where else? I've been to a bunch. Just kind of up and down California, honestly. But yeah, no, I recently have been doing a lot of places like Stowe in Vermont, which is just wonderful in the winter. But thank you for the question, Vlad. No coffee because sinuses. I actually did have coffee. And it might be helping a little bit. Also, the painkillers are probably helping. And I'm also just trying to drink a lot of fluids. I got my water next to me and just need to flush all this out. It's freaking killing me. Eradicate sinuses. Maybe I should try to get something really spicy. Not that I can handle much spice, but I should get something spicy for lunch to kind of clear myself out. Anyway. Where am I going to get deer antlers and a rabbit? I thought to myself. All I had was $95 on an old Visa gift card I got for my 14th birthday. Relatable. Will that be enough to buy antlers? I was starting to get really paranoid. I went back to Pigeon Forge and looked around the shops and finally came across some deer antlers. It was $80 for 5 pounds of antlers, which was plenty. Damn, dude, can't you just haggle for like the one? I picked up the antlers. They were white and brownish with many branches coming out from the main antler. I only recently learned this. When someone says they got a 12-point buck, it means how many little branches coming off the main antlers. I did not know that. So there's 12 of them. That's 12. 12 points. I laid it on the cashier's table, and she was curious as to why I was buying an antler. I told her I needed it, or else the sickle walker will kill me. There's a boogeyman outside. Her face went from warm and happy to scared and worried. She told me that she was 8 when she saw the sickle walker and had to do the same thing. The cashier told me I could have the antler free, and to find a rabbit, simply go to the pet store and then kill it. No, she said, no need to kill the rabbit as long as I have it when I meet the sickle walker. Okay. A quick, you know, that kind of takes the. So your rules set up that, you know, you'd have to find antlers in a rabbit's foot. Now, rabbit's feet, I don't even think they really sell those anymore as actual feet of a rabbit. But it was almost like you got to go out and kill something yourself. And that implies something difficult, something risky, something horrific, because a lot of people can't bring themselves to kill animals like this. And here it's just like, oh, I got the antler for free and I can just get a bunny. Kind of deflates the tension and the challenge of your rules story. You know. Blah, 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 blah. I quickly rushed to the pet store and purchased a small rabbit. The rabbit was very fluffy and cute. It had a plush and soft white tail and a brown coat. Aw. Fucking hate rabbits, by the way. They poop everywhere. Its eyes were solid black and its ears were perked into the air. I got some rabbit feed and to keep it alive until the 5th day. I finally was able to drive back to the cabin. Along the way, I felt watched and unsettled as if the creature was in the back seat. I kept looking behind me but never saw the creature, only the bunny in its cage and the antlers next to it. I kept the rabbit inside the car for the remaining days and took it out on days we went out, so... I kept the rabbit inside the car for the remaining days and took it out on days when we went out so that they wouldn't see that I bought a rabbit. Would they care? This is a problem? I was just waiting and hoping this works. We're at the end. Day 5. It was the day I would go to face the sickle walker. I set off into the woods and waited with the bunny and antlers. The bunny started to shake and jump around like crazy as I sat on a stump in the middle of the forest. From behind I hear leaves ruffle loudly. I turn around, and there it stands, the sickle walker. Had one sickle and a blade on its other arm. It appeared around 12 or 13 feet. It appeared about 12 or 13 feet tall. It bent its head down and looked at me and then looked at the bunny and antlers. The bunny started to bleed from its eyes, hyper-realistic blood. Then the antlers started to levitate and pierce the rabbit's head. Holy shit. Well, okay, I guess we did kill a bunny. But you didn't do it. So it's like, I stood there frozen in horror and sadness and angry. The sickle walker then turned around and walked off into the forest. I sat there horrified and didn't move for hours until I heard my name yelled by my father. I ran into the cabin and hugged them. I was terrified after what I just saw. Let's just say, Sickle Walker, I hope I never meet you again. God damn it. Now it's a let's not meet. What else is going to be in this story? Nothing, because it's the end. But, ooh. Do not wear your influences on your sleeves like this. Ugh. Okay. There is good and bad to this, like I keep saying. I like the setting. I like the description of the setting. I almost don't mind that the person in town also recognizes what the Sickle Walker is. Having myself written a few months I guess a few months ago at this point, a story about a town's urban legend called the Sticker Men. I don't mind that, I really don't. But the story itself kind of lacks teeth. You have these rules that were impossibly easy to almost circumvent. You know, where am I going to find antlers and a bunny? Buy them in town for free. One of them's for free. Go sit out in a log. Sit still. Do nothing. All right, you're good. Like, there's no real danger to this, because if anybody in real life met the Sickle Walker, it's like, well, I just go to a town and tell someone about it and get free shit, and then I'm good. I'm not saying that the narrator had to die at the end, but it's just like there's not a lot going on. That being said, this is not a terrible story. It has a decent premise. It just needs a rework. This is a rough draft, a first draft. We need a second draft, and we need significant rewrites. But keep writing. Like, don't let this discourage you. If you really, if making icon pastas or cryptids or whatever is your thing, feel free to do it. But you need to work on your execution. And of course, grammar is important. Although there wasn't too many grammar mistakes in here, I'll give you that. Mm. Rabbit and Antlers, missed opportunity for Jackalope. Ooh, good point. Good point. Anyway, that was Sickle Walker from Husky Gaming YouTube on Stay Awake. And I'll even give you an upvote. Because they're just so important. They're worth so much. Okay. All right. Yeah, sorry for all the mouth noises and the coughing and everything, but I'm just fighting a thing here. All right, we're going to No Sleep. No Sleep. This is... I've clicked on this really just because it has 800 awards and 6.3 thousand upvotes, and it's only been around for less than a day. And that caught my eye as kind of a rising story in popularity. I don't read a lot of those, so I wanted to just try this and see what people like about it. And, you know, it's probably going to piss me off because this is No Sleep, but hey, 4 free months of Chegg study. Sally Mae. Oh, gosh. Getting flashbacks to when I worked in certain areas of law. I've lived in this... When the Town Smells Like Cinnamon, You Know Someone Just Died by Like I Did... No Sleep. I've lived in this town named Tattletoe since the moment I was born. Okay. When everything, I mean, isn't that usually what you do? You're born in a place and your parents don't typically move you right away. Whatever. Nitpick. When everything smelled like nutmeg. It's quite a beautiful place. Everyone that lives here is being gifted with anything they could ever wish for. Each family has a big house with enough room so that generations can live together if they wish to. They receive a car, although that one is quite unnecessary if you ask me. No one ever leaves anyway, and the town is small enough that a bike would be more than enough. Okay, so we're like in a kind of like a giver situation here. It's utopian, but I'm sure there's going to be something wrong about it. This is a weird way to set this up, especially for hold on. What's this? No Sleep is a place for authors to fuck you. No Sleep is a place for authors to share their original horror stories. Are we abandoning the realism? Has it been enough of a problem that we are finally getting rid of that? Let's look at the rules. Sorry, I have to derail here. Because this is important. Okay. Post must be a complete horror story. That's not new. Stories must be believable within reason. Okay, so this is still the same. It means the narrator must be physically and mentally capable of posting, and that the events of the story cannot be proven to be false on a large scale. That's still dumb. That's still like, you know, if you say, I grew up in a town where everyone is a vampire, you still have to prove that to me because vampires aren't real. Unless, you know, it's a really big secret. Like, no, fuck you. Even if it's a small scale. I remember reading a story where there's fucking... The Antichrist came back and invaded a goddamn Walmart and they summoned a demon. And it's like, this is... Doesn't matter if I can look outside and disprove it. And, you know, that's the threshold. If you want to make realistic stories, make them realistic. And if you're going to do a supernatural thing, just do a supernatural thing. This middle ground tap dancing nonsense is stupid. Anyway, titles must follow specific guidelines. Okay, whatever. Okay, anyway. So, maybe we finally are just abandoning the believability to a certain degree. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Next time, Secret Agent Sickle Walker. Mouth Noises is a good Neil Ciceric album. Yes, it is. No Sleep honestly doesn't need anything that originally made it unique. Now it's popular enough to openly abandon what made it special, since they have anyway, just not officially. Yeah, yeah. It used to be a default subreddit. It's got a shit ton of subscribers, although probably a lot of them are bots. It's got enough traffic to where really doesn't matter. Now, what will be interesting is how will the readership and the authorship react to this. I think readers who like the old classics, they've already probably either abandoned or just kind of accepted the fact that you're not getting stories like Pen Pal anymore. There's so many readers with so many different tastes that I don't think it'll really matter. Like, rules stories are still stupidly popular, and a lot of people hate those, but they still keep reading. I don't want to call everything on No Sleep disposable, but the amount of stories that get posted, the amount that gets read, it almost kind of de facto makes it all feel disposable. And I think No Sleep is too big to stop that at this point. So, like, I'm kind of glad we're moving away from the quote-unquote believability rule because it was dumb. It was impossible to enforce. It was, when it was arbitrarily enforced, it didn't make any goddamn sense. I bet you they still have a problem with, like, if I tried to post Black Rice here again, I bet you it would get taken down. Because it already was once for not being a story. So, I don't know, maybe this is a move in the right direction, I hope. But a reminder, you guys can post to stay awake, because it still does not have these weird-ass rules. Okay. Back to the story that we were trying to read after I drank some more water. Alright, no one ever leaves anyway, and the town is small enough that a bike would be more than enough. If you want to take a stroll down the town center, you can easily do so by foot. You can watch all the little shops and restaurants. Each and every place is an individual masterpiece run by important members of the community. There is a flower shop growing the most peculiar plants with the brightest colors. There is a store making boots that will make you want to start dancing and never stop. This is all very just La La Land. There is a jewelry store with diamonds you have never seen before. That would be tough. There's a lot of different diamonds out there, a lot of different gems. However, the most important place, the one that makes our town what it is Mrs. Hawley's wonderful bakery. Mrs. Hawley is an old woman with rosy cheeks and purple dresses. She wears multiple dresses. She likes to sing as she bakes the most delicious pastries, bread, and biscuits. Stepping foot into that wonderful bakery will never want to make you leave again. I think will make you want to never leave again, is what that should be. Unfortunately, we are not allowed to buy any of the things produced, not from the bakery or any other special shops. The goods are made for export. That's weird. A small town bakery? So clearly this is our conceit here. What's special about the stuff that you can only export it? And okay, if the goods are, fucked up or something, and they're infecting other people or whatever, I can look outside and say, like, no, that's not happening, which would disqualify this story. But whatever, let's keep reading. Are there any good alternatives for No Sleep? Just mentioned one. Stay Awake. Stay Awake, which is another subreddit, which you do see a lot of cross posts from No Sleep. There's also short horror stories. There's, oh gosh, there's a lot. There's Too Spooky, if you want to post there. What else? There's a bunch of stuff. Anyway, there is something particularly interesting taking place in the peculiar place we call Tanneltoe. You see, every time a child is brought to life in a small little hospital, the town smells of nutmeg. When someone dies, it smells of cinnamon. Okay? That's because as soon as the news reach the lovely Mrs. Hawley, she will start baking a batch of pastry, making sure everyone in town can smell that we gained or lost a member. This is something we have all grown accustomed to, and we wouldn't want it any other way. The smell of a town can tell you a lot about its history, you see. Sure. Paris smells like butter. Not all of Paris. Berlin smells like iron, and Naples smells like basil. Basil. Well, I have never been to any of those places myself, so I couldn't tell you for sure, but this is how my grandfather would describe them. Grandfather went crazy. I went to Paris and the whole place is covered in butter. He liked explaining the world through with his nose, which is fair. Scent is tied incredibly strongly to memory. My grandfather was the most remarkable person I knew, and one of the very few people who were allowed to leave the town from time to time. He was an exporter. I mean, wouldn't you just do this via freaking semi trucks like the rest of the world? I still remember the day he was taken away. The cinnamon never smelled sweeter. Oh, my kitty is complaining at me. Mouse, shut up. No, you shut up. Gosh, time is it? It's 11:30. Blah 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 blah. Okay, Tattletoe is a special place. The people who have the honor of living here are never short of anything they could wish for. But of course, this life of ease and peace comes with a price. If you live here, you need to stick to our rules. I'm so tired of rule stories. Damn it. They are not many, and it's not that difficult to oblige. You just need to be willing enough. For example, if you want to live in Tattletoe, you need to work. You know, like everywhere. When a child reaches a certain age, it is assigned to a new job. As I said, we have many special shops. I know it sounds a little strange. No, it doesn't. I mean, being assigned, sure, but yeah, you know, it's like when people go to live and work in Antarctica. It's basically you have a job. You are assigned to said job that you probably, signed up for, but also everyone kind of has to be multifaceted. And oh man, I saw this documentary not too long ago about living in Antarctica. I wish I could remember the name now, but I think it's on Prime, Amazon Prime. It was really interesting. Okay, the town committee always says that everything needed is provided for us. If we ever wanted more, it meant we were greedy and not worthy of living in this little paradise. I never understood much about our ideals. You work all your life but are not allowed to buy anything. It felt strange to me, but my parents taught me from an early age that I needed to follow the rules. Now that I am old enough to work, I was assigned to my first job. I assumed I would have to work in the toothpaste factory together with mom and dad. The toothpaste that makes your teeth go all black and achy, but instead. What? The toothpaste that makes your teeth go black and achy, but instead I got a much better job. One that every child in town could only dream of. I would be working in Mrs. Hawley's bakery. What? You export toothpaste that ruins your teeth. Excusing all believability rules, like if this was posted anywhere else, I would still be a little bit flabbergasted as I am right now. This is so ungrounded that I question the point. This isn't even like surreal. This is just I live in a weird backwards town, which is so removed from daily life that I can't relate to any of this. Somebody read The Giver and decided they could make it weird. No, exactly, Rika. And I like The Giver. That movie looked dumb as fuck, but The Giver story was great, the actual book. Okay, well, you know what? Everyone mull this over in your mind. I'm gonna go feed my cat. I'll be right back. Well, the story jumped to shark. I need a drink. Yeah, Vlad. If it weren't so early, and I didn't get drunk yesterday, I would also do so. Okay, time skip. Deborah, oh, please, come in, come in. Mrs. Hawley greeted me with a warm smile. Okay, our protag's name is Deborah. It was so early in the morning the sky was still black, but I knew better than to be late on my first day of work. Morning, Mrs. Hawley, and thank you so much for hiring me. I was a little afraid of what other job I might get. Well, she didn't hire you. You got assigned. She gave me a sympathetic smile and waved me inside. She handed me my very own apron as we walked back. Ooh, shit, sorry. That was loud. Let me silence my phone here. Cool. She handed me my very own apron as we walked to the back of the bakery. I usually work alone, but I heard a rumor that they wanted to assign you to be a shoe tester, and I really wouldn't have wanted your feet to fall off. I furrowed my brow. Why would my feet fall off? Oh, honey, the committee heard about some city somewhere in the States where the people are apparently dancing even when they shouldn't. Now they want to punish them so produce increased. Increase produce production. They need testers to see if the new shoes work accordingly. What is this weird fucking fantasy fable North Pole ass place? Right, I mumbled. All the products were created so someone somewhere could be punished. Okay. This is like it's like a dark fairy tale, and that's fine. I just like with fairy tales, you need to ground your protag as an audience surrogate. We need to be from the real world, the regular world. So when we come into the weird part, it's like, oh my god, all this shit's bizarre. I saw people talking about Charlie and Chocolate Factory, and yeah, but Charlie was a regular kid in the regular part of the world. The Chocolate Factory is the weird part. The fact that our protag is growing up in this, and they are kind of questioning it, but at the same time, like I just don't feel it because this is all you've known. Okay. Right, I mumbled. All the products were created so someone somewhere could be punished. Don't ask me why. The committee seems to have very clear ideas on how the world should look like. And yet, then why wouldn't they just take over the world? Like, if people had these boots, wouldn't they just basically go, hey, your boots fucked up a bunch of people, we're not buying from you? And then they would also, like, trace your terrible toothpaste? How do you export stuff? Our world is globally connected at this point. Your ass is getting Yelp reviewed to fuck. Like, this doesn't make any sense. You know your grandfather was a good friend of mine. I always had a sweet spot for you, my dear. Your parents were smart only to have one child. Some people here. She stopped talking and smiled at me as if she had almost said something she shouldn't. Oh God, they have a one-child policy? Anyway, I was just starting to make a batch of snickerdoodles. Why don't you help me with that? Who died? I blurted out. You know the Droddles, right? Well, their oldest son fell in love with Jenny Jenkins of Jenkins Street. Apparently he tried getting her a ring, poor fool. He knew what would happen if they found out. I could question this and I don't care. Like, I don't care. Also, there should be a period there. Time passed. The longer I worked at Mrs. Hawley's bakery, the more I started understanding what was actually taking place in our town. The factories and shops were creating something awful. Yeah, no shit. Everyone that was old enough knew about it, but they chose to ignore it, even if they all had different reasons. Life here was really perfect. You never had to fear for anything as long as you worked and didn't take any of the products from the forbidden shops. Well, considering that everything here probably kills people, then this wouldn't be a problem. You'd be like, oh yeah, no, everything we make is awful. Guess I won't care. There were enough stores giving out legal things for free. The house, the car, the food, the drinks, the entertainment, and everything else you could imagine. Anything that was given to people for free was a way to make them live happily and not start asking questions. As there was another rule, never ask questions. What did my grandpa do? I know I wasn't allowed to ask. Mrs. Hawley could hit me, hurt me, make them burn me, but somehow I couldn't keep myself from blurting out those words. I kept asking myself this question each time I smelled cinnamon. Besides, Mrs. Hawley and I had grown closer. I feel like I could trust her. When I said those words, her eyes opened wide with terror. Child, are you insane? Don't you know that? I'm not supposed to ask questions. I know. But you know, the other day they took Timmy, my neighbor. He was such a kind and sweet person. They assigned him to the crematory and he said no, so they threw him in. Right, yeah. This is a perfect place that no one could leave, that everyone's happy, but clearly people aren't. And I know that's the point of this. It's a utopia, but guess what? It's not. But this is just so ungrounded. I don't know what befell me. Maybe it was the fact that I was getting older, and maybe the bakery made me feel dumb and brave. Timmy wasn't the only one they took, just the one that hurt me the most. He was a kind boy. I had a crush. Mrs. Hawley sighed. Your grandfather didn't do his job. He was supposed to travel and sell, but instead he destroyed the products. He still got the money in different ways, but the committee found out that he was tricking them. This is all I will say, and don't ever ask or question anything again. Boy. Oh, we're almost done. She got the wooden rolling pin from the desk. I saw the pain in her eyes as she held it up and hit my arm with all her strength. They probably heard what I asked, and they'd know if she didn't do it properly. I knew she didn't want to hurt me, but it was my own fault for asking questions. The broken hand was worth the information she gave me. Was it? Besides, my punishment could have been much worse. I thought I understood Tattletale, but simple answers can never answer complicated questions. But simple answers can never answer complicated questions. Not necessarily. We could get into semantics there. But it depends on if you're satisfied with the answer. I understand that now. For a long time, I thought it were the smells. It was the smells. The nutmeg would make you happy. The cinnamon would teach you to fear. Except I spent every day in the bakery surrounded by the smells, and only now I'm starting to become more skeptical. I'm starting to doubt and to understand. Nutmeg doesn't make anyone happy. Too much of it can even become poisonous. Yeah, I can vouch for that, because a few years ago I drank like a gallon of gosh, I'm drawing a blank, of course, eggnog in like 24 hours, and I had an allergic reaction. So yeah, true. There was a time when I was afraid of Mrs. Hawley and the smell of cinnamon. To me, it meant death. Now I understand that Mrs. Hawley isn't trying to scare everyone by alarming them with the smell. She is trying to cover up the smell of burning corpses. Every place has a crematorium. You just move it away from people. And you have proper ventilation. Like, I know it's a small town, but that's, not necessary. I don't even want to imagine how many snickerdoodles she had to bake after they burned all her children and husband when they tried to leave the town. Okay. I just... This is weird. This is strange. Yeah, not in a weird fiction kind of way. It's a fairy tale story, but goes about it the wrong way. I don't understand. I don't understand what the point of this is. It's not really scary, at least not to me. It doesn't make any sense because you can't just export stuff like this and have people not find out. I get that her grandfather did that, but he's not the only one, and he couldn't have been around for the entire time, and he's gone now. Like, this premise is weird. I don't know how I would approach it because it's just so fantastical that everything falls apart when you question one thing. It's not my cup of tea, I guess. Remember the Ursula K. Le Guin short story about how the world was perfect, but the reason is so despicable some people leave? I miss good stories like that. Yeah, me too. Me too. Why did you drink a gallon of eggnog in one day, Abysme? Was that some sort of bet? No, I just really, really, really like eggnog. And I have learned to limit myself every holiday season at this point. I don't even think I had any last year. But, yeah. Yeah. I'm weird like that. I love eggnog. What's the link for the town? $10 says it's the author's page or website. Yep, that's what everybody does now. Interesting. So I was actually going to start a new series, but I wasn't completely happy with it and decided I'll keep that for another time. Instead, I wrote that weird-ass little story. Okay. Okay. No, it's not a series thing. God, we don't need more series. Well, that was bizarre. I'm going to go back to AI Dungeon because my throat is starting to go and I have a lot of chores to do. So we're going to round out with AI Dungeon. No, you can continue from where you left off. But we're not. We're starting a new game. All right. I remember Mystery being broken as all hell. Apocalyptic's kind of broken as well. I haven't done Cyberpunk. Actually, I'm going to regret this. Let's do custom. Enter a prompt that describes who you are, blah, 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 blah. The Kingdom of Larion. Okay. 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 What are we going to do here? What are we going to do? We do something horror related. Sky's the limit. Although not really, because AI Dungeon. I am a... okay. I am a hunter in the dark woods looking for Bigfoot. For the monster Bigfoot. Let's try this. Oh, fuck you. Okay, you know what? Fuck custom. Let's just do cyberpunk. Maybe we can make it horror. You are a cyborg, a punk, a cyborg punk, a cop, or an android. Well... yeah, no, cyborg. Enter your character's name. Crom! You are Crom, a cyborg living in the futuristic city of Zale. You have a bionic arm and a hollow band. You're walking down the dark city streets while neon lights flash brightly above you. As you pass an alley, you see a man standing there with his back to you. He is dressed in black clothing and has a gun on him. Hello, says the cyborg. I'm Crom. The man turns around slowly as he raises his gun. What do you want? I want to wear your skin. Oh, I should have put quotation marks around that. No, I just wanted to be human, Crom shouts as he runs at the man. The man fires several shots into Crom's body, killing him instantly. Awesome. Fantastic, we're dead. Cool. Sweet. I guess restart. Fucking hell. I mean, that's... AI Dungeon is the epitome of rolling the dice. Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay, let's try that again. And let's be a punk this time. Crom 2 Electric Boogaloo is our name. You are Crom 2, a punk living in the futuristic city of Zale. You have a bag of drugs and a hollow band. You wake up in a dark alley with bruises all over your body, and somehow they didn't take my drugs. You have no idea what happened. You stand up and see that you are naked. Oh no. You look around and see a bunch of people standing near you. They don't seem to notice or care about your injuries. Mug person... actually, mug closest person for clothes. 2 drugs. I will. Well, we gotta get dressed first. You mug closest person for clothes. Hey, I need some new clothes. The man looks at you suspiciously, but doesn't say anything else. He turns away from you and walks off without saying another word. Hey, that's not what I didn't ask him. This is a fucking demand. Take clothes from nearest person. Nearest person. You grab clothing from the nearest person who is dressed similarly to yourself. Well, that's kind of hard because I'm naked. It's not like you can afford anything fancy right now. Okay, well, we got clothes. That's cool. Look for clues as to whom beat me up. Revenge. You walk down the street looking for clues as to who beat you up. The streets are empty, so there isn't much to go on. There is a lot of trash laying around, though, which could be used as evidence against someone if they were really trying to hide it. Search trash for evidence. You pick through the trash for any evidence that might help you find out who did this to you. You find a few pieces of paper, but nothing useful. After searching everything in the area, you decide to head back home. Okay. Walk into house. You enter the house and ask the woman inside why she didn't call the police when you got beaten up. Why was she there? She tells you that she was busy with something else, so she had forgotten about it. You tell her that maybe she should check on things more often since nobody has been here lately. Yeah, how is this a cyberpunk story? Sell drugs for cybernetic implants. Implants? God, I can't type today. Yeah. You agree to sell drugs for cybernetic implants. The woman seems happy with your offer and thanks you profusely for helping her out. She says she'll give you a discount because of it. Install cybernetic implants. You begin installing cybernetic implants. Your mind starts to feel strange. You start having odd thoughts and feelings. You try to ignore them, but they get worse and worse until you become insane. Okay, I'll run with this. Use advanced intelligence to locate person who mugged me. Your mind becomes very intelligent and you locate the mugger. You attempt to kill him, but he manages to escape. You then proceed to attack everyone in sight until you die. Motherfucker! Ah, you bastard! You made me insane! Ugh. This is some bullshit. I can't win with you, AI Dungeon. Why do you do this to me? Okay, use cybernetic implants to restart heart. I cannot spell cybernetic today. You use cybernetic implants to restart your heart. You survive long enough to get a new bag of drugs from the dealer. You then leave the city and never return. Wow, I am a simple man in this cyberpunk future. I exist to get drugs, to get beat up for having drugs, exact vengeance, and then leave and repeat the process. Go to new city. You leave the city and travel to the new city. You arrive at night and find it's deserted. You wonder where everyone went, but you don't pay too much attention to your surroundings since you're still paranoid about being attacked again. Use implants to locate humans. Locating human. You find several people nearby. Not so abandoned then, was it? But none of them seemed interested in you or willing to talk to you. They just stare at you as if they can smell fear on your breath. Okay. okay. How should I phrase this? Take out plasma pistols and extort people for information. You take out plasma pistols and extort people for information. You learn that there is a drug called Danger, which makes anyone who drinks it crazy. Now that's just alcohol. You also learn that the drug is illegal in this city, but not dangerous. It's called Danger, but it's not dangerous. Fantastic. Look for dealer of the drug Danger. You look for the dealer of the drug Danger. You find one, but he's a lowlife who doesn't even know how to make it. Then how does he have any? What the fuck? AI Dungeon. Oh my god. You know what? Fuck you. Buy Danger from dealer. You buy Danger from the dealer, you drink some of it, and soon you become completely insane. Yes. The next day you attack someone and kill them. You then continue to murder people until you die. What the fuck? God damn it. God damn it. Oh. Why do you hate me, AI Dungeon? I just wanted to play Cyberpunk. Apparently, all it knows about Cyberpunk is everyone's high and dying constantly, which is not incorrect. But there is also other stuff going on. Okay. Use cybernetic implants to restart brain activity. We're going to try this one more time. Use cybernetic implants to restart your brain activity. You survive long enough to get a new bag of drugs from the dealer. You then leave the city and never return. Okay. City number 3. Activate immortality gene from cybernetic implants and declare myself the new cyber god of the... Oh, wait, shit. Okay, hold on. Before we do that, go to new city. Okay, you arrive at night and find us there, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, same thing we've seen. Okay, that's fine. I'm one step ahead of you, AI Dungeon. You activate the immortality gene from your cybernetic implants. You live forever and rule the city of the future. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Subjugate city populace. What the fuck? You subjugate the city populace by killing most of them. Your reign lasts for decades before you finally die. Alright, I'm done. I'm fucking done. This... Oh. There's been a lot of updates to this, but oh boy, does it need to just get caught in this loop. Just gets caught in these loops. Oh, by the way, are you looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077? Yes, Vlad, I am. I have not been excited for a AAA game in a long time. It's AAA, right? Pretty sure it is. Anyway, yeah, no, I am excited for that. It looks really cool. It looks really fun. I will be getting it. I will be paying the $60 for that giant ass game. Probably gonna have to uninstall Warhammer Total Warhammer, and some other things to fit it. But oh boy, it's gonna be fun. And it's gonna be a lot better than this. All right, well, I need to go do chores and shit. Thank you everybody for joining me. I will do this again next week. If you have any suggestions as far as reading, as usual, please send them to me. Otherwise, I will do my best to find them. And yeah, I will see you all later.